Hello there YouTube, it's your boy B3 back with another kicking action figure review. We're continuing our run of Power Ranger Super Sentai stuff with this Hasbro Power Rangers Lightning Collection Pink SPD Ranger. Sid is a very cool Ranger. I really love SPD. It's probably like my second favorite season of all time. Really, truly it is. So I'm very glad that basically the whole team was made by the Lightning Collection. They gave us the base 5, as well as Shadow and Omega. We never got Cat or Nova or anything, and I would have chopped off my own balls to get Boom Orange Ranger. I would have done so much. I actually just met him. Incredibly nice guy. He gave me his autograph. Check out my Ranger Stop and Pop 2024 Atlanta haul to see that. But yeah, I actually got her in that haul video as well. The guy was selling her for 15 bucks, and I got her, and she is in great condition. She was loose, but complete with accessories, which makes me very happy. So yeah, here is Sid out of Package. She cool. She fine. One thing about the SPD Rangers, as well as Mini Rangers, is inconsistent paint within the same team. There are some SPD Rangers that have a white trim on the visor, some have a silver trim, and then some like her have no trim, which is concerning. But I think the head sculpt is pretty good. I can see a human head fitting in there. And then I do like the paint on the 5, how it goes onto the butterfly joint. That's a good touch. Very nice there. She's painted all the way on the back, and pretty clean paint too. You see you got her SPD badge kind of there. Well, sort of. Her actual badge is this in accessories. So let's go ahead and talk about accessories. So you get the helmet head, and then this hand, which is kind of to hold the badge morpher thing. And it does kind of sit on there, but not very well. So that's not too grand. But you do get that hand. The badge itself is pretty good. An open one would have been nice too, but this one's fine. Get that big SP sticker on it. It's okay. It's pretty good. What else do we have? Also, alternate head. And I guess that kind of looks like Sid. Maybe a little older than the actual Sid, but it works. There's a fist hand. But then the alternate hands here are just two normal holding hands for SPD Pink. And then we also have her rapier. We have a folded up version that you can put on her belt, and the extended version. I actually really want to display her with this, but I'm afraid it'll snap because it is, you see, I'm afraid that that puppy's just going to snap. Like if she falls off the shelf or something. And I have a cat, so that's a very likely scenario. But there is an effect for it. This seems to be a reused effect, not an effect specifically for it. So that weight on this saber, I don't like that. I know if this was more rubbery, it would be warped. But without that, it's more fragile. So pick your poison, I guess. And then there's also the blaster, which actually looks pretty good. Can't lie. Quite like that. The SPD Rangers hold their blasters upside down like this, and then her like rapier plugs into it to make it like that. So pew pew, you know. Now how about some articulation? You've got up and down on that head, pretty good. Side to side, a bit of a wobble. You've got that nice butterfly joint that I really like. You have up on those arms, roundy-toundy. You also have an elbow bend here, which also has a swivel on it. You have a very tight forward and back on the wristies, as well as a rotation, and that goes for all of the hands. You have the really nice torso and waist articulation on these Lightning collections. I always really liked it, and I'm glad they're incorporating it into Marvel Legends, even though I don't really get a lot of Marvel Legends these days. But I did just review a batch of them, so I guess that's good. You have in and out on the legs, slightly hindered by all her stuff to hold her accessories here. I wish you could like pop those off in a way. But I guess if you did that, they wouldn't work as well. Maybe an interchangeable belt. But at this price point, I understand why that's not a thing. But you can do forward and back, except you can't. Because you can just do forward. Can't go back because Hasbro, unlike NECA and McFarlane, has not upgraded to hard plastic bussies yet. They're still using... Well, they're not using rubber bussies, I mean. They're still using hard plastic bussies. They need to upgrade to the rubber bussy covers. But, I mean, they're not making this line anymore, so I guess that's going to fall on deaf ears. You got a thigh swivel, a double knee bend, boot swivel. Then you have up and down on the feeties, rotation, peggies, little peg holes. Now, for everybody's favorite part, mine for sure, size comparisons. You know you want it, folks. You know you want it. First up, we got to compare her with her own line, the Lightning Collection. Let's compare her with a dude and a lady. Here she is with some other recent reviews. The Dino Charge Pink Ranger on the left and Dino Thunder Blue Ranger on the right. I think she works pretty well with both of them. She seems to scale perfectly with her own line, and that's really all that matters. It just occurred to me she doesn't have a skirt. I'm not entirely sure I ever noticed that before. Huh. Okay. So yeah, she scales well with them. Also, I want to show her with some villains. Yeah. So, first up, you gotta show her with a Lightning Collection villain, you know? So how about Pumpkin Wrapper, who will probably be my next review? That's good. I like how much taller he is, but their waists are still kind of centered. That really works out great. Another one, this is actually a vintage figure. It is the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Evil Space Aliens Rhino Blaster, who is also going to be a future review. I actually think they both look great with her. Rhino Blaster might be a little big for her, but that kind of just makes him look more imposing, intimidating, and powerful, and makes it seem more like it would require a team to take him down. That makes me very happy. So let's get them out of here, folks. And then let's show Hasbro's kind of kid line that was running about the same time as the Lightning Collection. So let's actually zoom in a little for this part. I was mostly staying zoomed out for those big villain figures. So here we have the Power Rangers Dino Fury, Dino Knight Red Ranger, and Green Ranger with Sprint Sleeve. Yes. You know what? She actually looks pretty good with them. I've noticed that when this line crosses with the Lightning Collection, that the ladies usually work with both lines, and then it's the dudes that don't really work. Because, like, this guy looks too small with the Lightning Collection, but she doesn't. You know? So I think it's just the lady's smaller build lends better to this scale, I guess. So yeah, I kind of think she does scale decently with it. I mean, her detail and paint are obviously a tier or two above theirs, but she won't stand out that much, probably. Right? Maybe? Who knows? I'm dying inside. So let's remove these. Show some Japanese figures this time. You, of course, have the Sentai Hero Series 2 Kaiser, who is tall. Oof. There we go. And then the Bandai Japan Puppy Magishine. These are both wrong for her. The Power Rangers adaptation of this was Mystic Force, which came a season after her, which is nice. And then this guy's a big anniversary season of Sentai. But neither of them work with her, sadly. You would need a Poppy version of her with him, or maybe one of the smaller Bandais. And then you would just need a Sentai Hero version of her to go with this one. It's just not going to work with these Japanese figures, at least not the ones in that scale. And one more Power Ranger figure. This is from the end of Bandai's time. with the Power Rangers toy license. It is the Action Hero Super Mega Force Titanium Ranger, who, like the Poppy, is much too small. But since she is a 6-inch figure made by Hasbro, I want to show her with one of their key 6-inch lines, Marvel Legends. So I'm going to toss a Marvel Legend out now. It is the post-Secret Wars 2099 Spider-Man, who she looks fine with. So she can work with your Marvel Legends if you want that. Plus, Marvel is kind of tied to the history of Super Sentai in more ways than one. Very interesting, actually. It's worth looking into. Trust me. So yeah, I think that's really cool. Plus there is a Toku Spider-Man, who I reviewed recently as well. Anyway, what are my final thoughts on the Hasbro Power Rangers Lightning Collection SPD Pink Ranger? She's pretty cool. I actually really like her. When you don't have stuff displayed on the belt, it looks wonky, and I don't like to display stuff in the belts. But I mean, she comes with a lot of accessories. A couple of them seem kind of fragile, and the actual lightning piece doesn't really seem to fit perfectly on the sword. It's just it's clearly just a reused piece that wasn't made for her weapon. I think her paint is pretty good, even though it's not consistent across this team, which is kind of lazy, admittedly. But I mean, the articulation is good enough, and she's honestly pretty much exactly what I expected, to be completely honest with you. I like her. If you're an SPD or Disney era fan, or even just a Power Ranger fan, I think Sid here will be a good one for your collection. So that's it. Thank you all very much for your support. Remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. Check out all the cool links in the description below, Facebook, Twitter, etc. And I'll see you all next time. Bye for now.